All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again. It is time. Well, we are going to switch it up. We're going to switch up divisions just a little bit. Just a quick second. We're going to switch over to seniors finals. It's going to be sick. I'm going to go ahead and transition over there. Ooh, that looks gross. That looks sucio. So as you can see, the seniors are going ahead and set up. We're going to switch over, like I said, to seniors finals. So they're going to be playing 2 out of 3 as always. Since there are only 5 seniors, they are both undefeated, I believe. So it's going to be good. Going to be muy bueno. So what we have here is we have James Evans on the capture card. We'll be seeing the game from his point of view, going up against Samuel Stoke. Both rocking pretty interesting teams for what I can see here. We're going to go ahead and switch over now to that. Very nice, very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and start with that. So, this is as they're getting all set up, ladies and gentlemen, this is seniors finals. So if you are hyped for the seniors, I'm always hyped to see some seniors action. Get the young lions, the young cubs, a chance to go. And they always bring in some wild stuff. So here we go. Seniors finals, game number 1. James Evans rocking Charizard, Kartana, Coco, Cresselia, Lando, Snorlax, and Samuel rocking Lando, Manectric, Gothitelle, Snorlax, Finny, and Celesteela. So we shall see where this leads. So we have what I can only assume is a Sun-based team coming in from James. It's a double Intimidate team coming in from Samuel. Really about them damage mitigation. Got a lot of bulk with the Gothitelle, Snorlax, Finny, and Celesteela on the side, and the offensive threats of Lando and Manectric. So here we go. Game number 1. Let's get it started. Before we start, let me get a 1 in the chat if you're rooting for James. Let me get a 2 if you're rooting for Samuel. Let me see it in the chat. Game number 1. Going to go ahead and start. We got Manectric and Tapu Fini as the start. As the start for the young and then we will also have Charizard and Lando. Pretty standard lead here, just in the overall sense. This is a very common lead, especially at the beginning of the format here. And here we go. Obviously, the Mega Evolution is going to come out. It's actually going to be Mega Manectric evolving first. Getting them spikes, going Super Saiyan, as it were. Them gold spikes. So we got some cheers for Sam in the chat. But here we go. The Intimidate is going to come through, but the sun is a-shining. Drop gonna come through, bringing out the sun, mitigating that water damage that could possibly come through from the Tapu Fini, but it still has access to Muddy Water as a spread move that can drop accuracy, but also has access to Moonblast, Icy Wind, some good stuff. But the U-turn is gonna come through on to the Tapu Fini, going to do a little bit of damage, not that much to be honest, minuscule amount of damage. Charizard, if he went for the Solar Beam, this is going to be big damage. Tapu Fini did not protect this turn, so we shall see what the Charizard is going to do. Instead, he went for the Heat Wave. Trying to get some spread damage out in the sun. He's going to do a little bit more damage than normal, but being that water type, but the Calm Mind. So we have Calm Mind, Finny, and James actually using that U-turn as an opportunity to switch over to his Snorlax. What are we going to do now with the Volt Switch? Going to come through as well. He's going to switch out here. So what will he switch out to is the question. And it will be the Landorus. Oof. The overheat going to do massive amounts of damage onto that Landorus, with the Moonblast going to come through onto the Snorlax. Snorlax not really threatened at all, and he's going to be able to safely set up this belly drum. Now this is a problem for Samuel. And of course, obviously Snorlax, as he always does, packing a lunch, a little late night snack here. Going to go ahead and regen half of his total HP, bringing him back to about a little shy over 55%, maybe 60. Charizard already on his last legs, but so is Landorus. Charizard incredibly fast, but does have the special defense, or excuse me, special attack drop at the moment. So we shall see. But the Heat Wave is actually going to stay in. He's okay with losing this Charizard to pick up the KO on the Landorus. Get some chip damage off on the Finny. And the Muddy Water going to come through and will connect with that 90% accuracy. Still going to be able to pick up the KO onto the Charizard. Now we don't want the... Now if you're James, you're not looking for this this drop in accuracy, and you're going to actually go for the Recycle. So setting up for late game instead of going for the immediate KO. James eating up that berry. He is below 50% with that Gluttony ability, so he's going to be able to proc that berry instead a little earlier than normal. And the Charizard will indeed go down, as well as the Landorus. And the Kartana going to be the fourth Pokemon for James, and the Manchuck going to come back out with the Intimidate as well. So here is the Detect, going to be able to block and mitigate some of that damage instead of going for a Leaf Blade. And here is the Overheat onto the Snorlax. He is not currently packing that thick fat ability, so he's going to be able to eat that up, and the Frustration going to easily pick up the KO. +6 on the Snorlax, and the Manectric will go down, and this is where the steam, this is where the train starts to pick up steam. And there is the big body Celesteela actually proccing that Misty Seed. Here we go. The Leaf Blade going to go into that Protect slot. Acrobatics onto the Kartana. Going to do a decent amount of damage, neutral damage as well. But the Celesteela going to take this Frustration. And considering how bulky Celesteela is and the fact that it is not very effective, he's going to be able to tank that, but not much more. He's not going to be able to take another one of those. And now the Leaf Blade can just come in once again. James looks like he's going to be able to pick up game number 1. He's fully set up on his Snorlax. Tapu Fini is already protected, is in KO range with the Leaf Blade, and will be able to pick up the KO right there. And it looks like, as well as the Frustration is going to pick up the KO, and the Beast Boost also going to come through as a little bit of insurance. Acrobatics from the Celesteela picking up the KO with a critical hit, but with the Landorus in the back, it does not look like that's going to make much of a difference. The defense, the special defense boost might have made a difference, but with that special defense boost, not so much. And Celesteela going to go down, and James picking up game number 1. So, as we get started here, we are heading into game number 2. Now, what will they pick? Now, towards that, it was really the late game, the insurance coming through from James was able to 100% secure him that victory. But alas, and as we head into game number 2, it's Samuel looking to see if he can recover here from a pretty dominant performance from James in the late game. He just needs a little bit more of that late game consideration. The Snorlax and one of the strongest Pokemon in the last 2 years in the late game. He's actually going to do a little bit of a different lead here. Going to go ahead and switch it up. We have Tapu Fini and Gothitelle going up against the Chars. The same lead coming in from James. We'll see if James is going to be able to make the necessary adjustments with keeping the same lead. It can be kind of difficult. The Mega Evolution going to come through. And the sun will rise. And the Protect coming through from the Gothitelle, trying to protect that damage, although Gothitelle is pretty bulky, and the U-turn going to pay off right there in terms of the Protect. I'm actually really interested in why James continues to not go for the Solar Beam here. He is Samuel Calm Mind to game 1. Why wouldn't you just go for it? If it protects, that's okay. You're not threatened by the Gothitelle, really. You could just keep clicking Solar Beam. I mean, I just think Solar Beam is clearly the play here, but now with the +1 doing no damage to the Gothitelle still full HP. I would just really like to see James be a little bit more aggressive and not shy away from that button, because neutral damage Solar Beam without the without the bonuses from the Calm Mind is going to do an insane amount of damage to Tapu Fini. It's just one of those small adjustments that could really turn the tide. It could possibly give him a 4-3 advantage in turn 1, but you know, that's not the way he's electing to play it. U-turn on the Gothitelle going to do a little more than 50%, going to return over to James. What will James pick here? And the Snorlax will be the choice. And again, going for the Heat Wave, I don't necessarily, agree with that, but he will pick up the KO on the Gothitelle. The Tapu Fini going for the Muddy Water. And going to be able to do super effective damage onto the Charizard. He is in the sun, so will not do as much damage as it normally would. But doing still a clean 45%. So, what is... Snorlax is the choice. So 4-3 lead for James here. Nevertheless, I would really like to see him go straight for the raw solar beam here. I mean, the Snorlax. I mean, you could honestly just go belly drum, solar beam. I don't necessarily see the point in not clicking that button in this particular scenario. But he continues to go for the heat wave. He might actually have tailwind, overheat, heat wave, and no solar beam, which would be a little bit of a misstep. But then Waterium Z +1 from the Calm Mind. Will it be able to pick up the KO in the sun? Definitely. Either one of these mons is definitely going to pick up the, definitely going down, and it will be the Charizard that will inevitably go. And I just really, if he, I don't know if he does, but if he does indeed have solar beam, I think he should have clicked at turn 1, or at least that turn. If not, then now you get a free setup on the belly drum. Samuel is in a great position here, unless this Kartana does indeed have a Sacred Sword. That could also be, you know, a really good thing for Samuel, or for James. The lander is going to come through. We're in a 3-3 here, but I fully set up Snorlax. He will take the Intimidate, drop an attack, and the Kartana really threatening here for both of these Pokemon if it is indeed also packing the Sacred Sword. But the Leaf Seed, the Leaf Blade is obviously the most imminent threat here. Well, withdrawing the Snorlax, actually completely mitigating that belly drum loss. I don't even think you necessarily need the Finny. I would have just, you know, maybe. I mean, I guess you don't have Protect either. The U-turn gonna come through. He's gonna go ahead and switch back out to his Snorlax. And the Sacred Sword does indeed end up coming through, going to do minimal damage in the Muddy Water. Kartana will indeed avoid the Muddy Water damage. Snorlax is going to be able to take the brunt of this, not doing much damage and not getting the the accuracy drop. Samuel not in a great position here. This Kartana is indeed the threat. Considering the Pokemon that he brought, he switched over to the Gothitail, which didn't actually end up really doing much this game. It was pretty much taken care of by turn 2. I don't know what he would have. What he would have outside of Snorlax for Kartana. Maybe Landorus, I guess, would have also been good. But no immediate threat to Kartana, and the Leaf Blade going to come through to easily pick up the KO on the top of Finny. Now, Landorus. This Landorus might have something like close combat to pick up a KO here. Oh, excuse me, superpower. I don't know why I said close combat. But there is the superpower going to proc that berry. And the frustration, just going for the immediate damage. Big damage. And the Snorlax and the Landorus are the only Pokemon that remain. What will occur here? The Leaf Blade going to easily pick up the KO right there on the Landorus. This Kartana is running through with the Beast Boost as well, going to essentially solidify the game here for James. The frustration is going to come through, do a decent amount of damage. James is going to try and do his best here to recycle, but the Kartana has already shown that it does indeed also pack that Sacred Sword, which is obviously going to do an incredible amount of damage to that Snorlax. And more than likely with the Beast Boost bonus on the attack, will be able to pick up the KO. And here comes the Sacred Sword, going to pick up the KO right there. And James is your winner. 2-0 victory over Sam, and that's going to be it for that. Excuse me, I'm right here. Hi. So, good stuff to James. Picking up the KO right there. Sam obviously getting second place, so good stuff to him. They're both going to receive a nice chunk of points and some prizes. So that's always fun. Prizes are fun. I really like prizes. Yeah, so we're gonna go get. Actually, we're gonna go and talk to the young man here. Go ahead and talk to him. Let me actually go ahead and switch up a couple of things here. But I like his team overall. The Cartana was obviously a smart choice. I really like the way he conserved his Cartana for the back, understanding that Sam didn't really have much to do about it. All right, so let's go ahead and set up for our winner here. We're gonna go ahead and talk to our winner. If you guys have questions for the Chantilly mid-season showdown champion here, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll go ahead and ask. But overall, good stuff to Sam and James, both picking up the games, both picking up good stuff here. Come on, buddy. All right, James. Let me go ahead and put up to you. Let me go ahead and let me put your name here because you're important. There we go. Last name's Evans, right?
Yep.
Wins. Woo! All right. So let's go ahead and talk to the people. James, first of all, congratulations. You were undefeated today. Did you lose a game today?
I lost one game in round 2.
One game in round 2. So let's go ahead and put this up. That way you can talk to the people here. So that game actually went pretty standard for you. I feel like you did a lot of stuff. I really like the way you conserved your Cartana in the back. I feel like, if you looked at his team, he didn't really have an answer for Cartana once you revealed the Sacred Sword. How did you feel about Charizard in that matchup?
So I kind of had a flow chart against this match, because it's a pretty popular team, like the 6 they used. Charizard it's just good as a lead because you can threaten Celesteela, you can overheat a lot of things. Like you overheat, I think in -1 still Oko's in the sun with most of the mons on that team. So it's really good. Lowering the damage of Finny's water attacks is also. Lando's just kind of there to pivot out turn 1 because you want to threaten Magnetric, so your Charizard can just get off a free Heat Wave.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't see your team sheet. Does your Charizard have Solar Beam?
It does not.
You see, okay, so here's the thing that I was kind of not questioning because obviously you were able to pick up the win, but I was like, well, if he had Solar Beam and the Finny was obviously going to calm mind every round one. He did round 1. If you had Solar Beam, would you have just picked up the KO, or would you have continued with the Heat Wave?
I think because Finny doesn't really threaten my Snorlax or like anything on my team other than Landorus per se. Like because I totally forgot it was Water Z Finny. I was like, oh shoot, he's buried. It can't really touch Snorlax at all, and also Cartana can just kind of pick it up halfway through. So I would rather just Heat Wave, get rid of the things on the side of Finny.
Right, yeah. Because one of my things that once he did show that it was Wartorium Z, I was like, okay, well, if he has a Solar Beam, he might consider trying to just pick up the KO on just to get rid of that entire threat. He has no Z move, he has no burst damage. That way, for certain, it's going to take at least 1 to 2 attacks to pick up a KO on the Charizard or the Snorlax. But with Wartorium, if it was Barry, I would have 100% been like, yeah, it doesn't matter, ignore it. But the fact that it was Wartorium, I was like, if he has Solar Beam, I would have really liked to see that. But you don't have it anyway. But what I really liked is that you understanding really early on that Cartana was going to be the win condition.
Yeah, I figured because he's going to go after Charizard a lot because if Celesteela could just win in an endgame position if Charizard and Snorlax are both knocked out. So he was going to relatively go after those two, except for when it was Main and Finny out and sure he could KO Snorlax, but that's too risky because you need Cartana going to make sure your Finny can do that next turn. So he made a good play with the overheat onto my Snorlax. But Snorlax is just really good against that team opposing Snorlax because you can. Once Snorlax gets in, you can pretty much just set up belly drum and sweep even against Celesteela.
Yeah, definitely, because he didn't really have a way to pivot, which is why I thought when he brought in the Gothitelle game 2, I thought he was like, all right, well, he's gonna lead. He might lead with Snorlax. Gothitelle has some really good supportive moves to kind of really shut down the setup from the Snorlax, but you were able to really handily deal with that because if you have the U-turn, you have the Heat Wave as well in the sun for big damage on the Gothitelle. When he brought the Gothitelle, when he led it, did your plan change at all?
So the plan kind of changed from usually it was like, all right, just U-turn out into Snorlax and just set up belly drum. What I was kind of expecting him to do was Calm Mind and Trick Room. So I was expecting him to just because I targeted Finny last game with the U-turn, picking the main protect. So I was like, he could just do that again.
Yeah.
So like I could probably just target down Gothitelle and get a quick knockout. But yeah, he combined it up and protected. But I think Snorlax was still in a comfy position.
Definitely.
Like even if he set up Trick Room, because
definitely. And you definitely obviously played really, really well. How many points do you have at the moment? Not including today, obviously.
Okay, 1,415.
Yeah, you have more than enough points.
Yeah.
So what is your next big tournament that you're trying to because obviously is this I've seen a couple of your games, obviously, but is this a team you're really comfortable with that you're willing to, or are you still kind of looking for the team you might be playing at Worlds?
I can't really say yet because I'm still like exploring new teams. Shout outs to Oliver for telling me that Mega Gyarados is bad, but it's clearly not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing what teams I can figure out in the future, and also looking forward to any tournaments.
Are there any things that you're seeing, on the horizon, things you were, especially from the last couple of regionals that were a little bit different? We're seeing a lot more 2014, 2015 Pokemon kind of come back. Things like Mamoswine, Mawile. We're even seeing some Arcanine, some Mega Latios. Are there any of those other Pokemon that are like not currently at the forefront of the meta that you're like looking at and you're like, wow, that might be good?
So like not a lot of them catch my interest. I just kind of like to pick up stuff that's already been set, where it's like this has done something well.
Yeah.
So you can improve on that.
Yeah.
But this guy right here, looking into how I can use him, considering he is my favorite Pokemon, and I used him for like about half of 17.
Yeah. Well, Alolan Persian's obviously proven to be an incredibly strong Pokemon, so and it's just good. I played it at a couple of regionals myself, so it's really, really good. You got any shout outs you want to give, or I think there were a couple people in the chat from Smogon that were cheering for you. We got this guy, Flaming Absol here.
This is a heart.
Night Owl. Got a couple people here chilling for you. So, you got any shout outs you want to give? Because you're obviously dripping in points right now, so it's not really just another day at the office.
I guess shout outs to Oliver for making me not run Mega Gyarados at this tournament because I clearly wouldn't have run it. Still good though.
Yes, yeah.
I guess shout outs to the Peanut Gallery, which is a Discord full of memes, and also Alvin Hedayat is a great man.
Yeah, Alvin is definitely one to help a lot of players. Well, thank you, man, for joining us, and congratulations. Go ahead and I don't want to keep you from collecting your points and stuff like that. Guys, we'll be right back with more here at Chantilly. We'll be right back.